everyone, welcome back to Function Pilates. I'm Vanessa Kelly, founder of Function Pilates, located here in Tempe, Arizona, and today I'm back with another reformer workout, and this one is for beginners or for veterans who want to just really fine-tune their practice and take things a little slow to create more inner awareness. But this is going to be a workout where we are going to take those foundational Pilates exercises and create some variations with them. So if you're brand new to Pilates or if you are still fairly new in your experience of Pilates, this would be a great workout for you. And for those that are new, we have over 100 workouts here on the channel. Just go ahead and look through our playlist section, and they're all organized there. For those that do not know, Function Pilates is a host studio for Pilates teacher training in person in Tempe, Arizona, and we also offer virtual online courses for its teacher training as well. So you can take a look at that description box. That link is going to be there. And we also just launched our new Amazon shop. So if you're seeing items, props, workout apparel, looking for some other different beauty recommendations or recommended reformers, you can check out that description box for the link below on some of those items I recommend to you. And again, I do truly appreciate your support, your loyalty to the channel. It has been an amazing journey, and I'd love to see your comments more, questions about your Pilates journey, anything you'd like to see coming up, please leave a comment. And for those that are ready to get started, let's go ahead and begin.
Let's go ahead and begin with our footwork. So I'm setting up 2 mediums, 1 heavy and 1 extra light spring. Lie down on your back, get comfortable, and align your heels up on the foot bar and about parallel hip distance apart. Reach those palms down beside you and take an exhale to stretch those legs out. Standing tall, maybe double check that you're in good alignment, and then slowly inhale to return. We're going to go ahead and get nice and powered up through our legs, through the back side, keeping those feet flexed the whole time as if you were connected to a wall. Beautiful. Focus on those ribs expanding as you take your inhale and funneling in as you take your exhale. Getting very grounded through the root of our feet. Beautiful. And about 10 repetitions here, and then we'll bring it back in and come down to our toes, still parallel hip distance apart. Exhale, let's stretch those out, creating a longer distance and applying a little bit of extra pressure through each of our toes here as we demonstrate equal weight distribution through our feet. Our knees are tracking nicely up towards the ceiling and staying in line with our ankles and our hips. So the knees shouldn't be pulling inward or they shouldn't be pulling outward. Scooping that belly as you take that long exhalation through your nose, passing through your chest and going through your belly. Keep your toes on the foot bar, heels together, exhale, press out. So we're in this Pilates V, or think of a small slice of pie as you press on out, activating those inner thighs. Great opportunity to take inventory. How is the energy pulling out through your fingertips? Are you drawing your abdominals in? Are your shoulders relaxed? Facial muscles relaxed? Beautiful. Sometimes we tend to clench our jaw too much as we focus. And then we're going to bring our feet back up about hip distance parallel, but the arches of the feet are on the foot bar, and then exhale to press out. So you have this sense of pressing through the very center of the bottom of your feet. But it's really easy to start to roll the ankles in or sometimes roll the ankles out. So be very mind awareness about how to create this nice parallel positioning. Perfect. Exhale, extend, and inhale, return home. Again, about 10 repetitions here, and then we're going to shift to the heels outside on the very edge of the foot bar, and then exhale, let's press on out. Beautiful. A slight external rotation, so the knees should stay in line with our shoulders here. But remember, when the feet are flexed, we want to maintain this imaginary connection to a wall here. So what I'm trying to say is we're not going to rock back and forth on our ankles. Beautiful. Really activates more of the work coming through the ankle and the calf. So we'll go down to our toes, stay in that wide position, elevate those heels, take an exhale, stretch it out. Think of the back of your knees reaching towards the floor. Think of your arms getting a little longer. Maybe your chest is getting a little wider. So all of these principles that we want to really activate as we're going through our Pilates practice is awareness, concentration, Lots of control. Beautiful. Of course, we are breathing still, so reminding ourselves to breathe. And then we're moving our toes back through the center here. Go ahead and press on out. We're going to drop those heels under, and as we keep those heels pressing through, really slowly reach on up for our calf raises. You got it. So there's this sense of control. We're emphasizing the lift, but we're activating that nice deep stretch through our calves. Excellent. Articulating through the toes. You got it. So anywhere from about 10 to 20 repetitions here, depending on how you're feeling today. But we're working those intrinsic muscles of the feet. We're going to go into our running. So we're just switching from left to right, back and forth. But our goal is to create this nice stable pelvis. Our hips are so grounded, there's not any extra movement occurring in those hips. Then to come back home. Beautiful. So carefully go ahead and roll off to the side, sitting ourselves up. And we're going to go ahead and adjust our springs to one medium and one light spring. We're going to go ahead and grab a hold of our loops and place it above our knee. So carefully keeping that metal part on the outside of your knee. And then from here, we're going to grab a hold of our shoulder blocks. Find this sense of balance here as we bring one leg at a time to tabletop. Now, we're going to carefully just draw those knees into the chest. So you're still in this very upright, maybe this preparatory for teaser, but you're exhaling, activating through those hip flexors to draw the knees in towards the chest. Beautiful. About 10 repetitions here, if that's not too much to ask. And it's small movements, but small is deeper. So you're getting into the very benefit of those deep abdominal muscles. Set it down, take a breather, relax. Maybe we're scooting back just a tad here to enhance the work. And as we go into our next round here, really think about drawing those shoulders down and back, hugging those legs together. And from here, we're going to go into a single leg variation. So you can keep your hands on that shoulder block. You can float them. But the sense here is that it's challenging. You're not going very far, but you're feeling the work here go very far. Beautiful. Keep breathing, shoulders down, neck is so long. Good, and then sitting it back up. Take another breather here. We have another round. So again, just really scoop that belly, draw that belly button into your spine. Bring those legs to tabletop, hold strong. Float those arms if you haven't already. And then very slowly begin to draw the knees into the chest. Yes. Aiming for anywhere from 3 to 10 repetitions, however you're feeling, but they're good ones. They're not bad ones. And then relax it once you're ready. Okay, let's take those loops away, hang those up nice and carefully. And then from here, we're going to go ahead into some hip work. So I'm going to add an extra spring. So 2 medium springs are going to go on, and we're going to come to a quadruped position. So we're going to have the left toes on the foot bar, and we're going to carefully press out to a straight leg. Now I'm coming down to my forearms for convenience, for comfort as well. But our goal is to keep the hips squared here, abs are drawn up, and get long with your leg. Think of the quad, the front of your leg working, but mostly we're effectively working through our hip, our glute muscles, getting stronger through our bones, and really supporting through our core here. Beautiful. Taking a breather here, we're going to add on. So same side, challenging ourselves to grab a hold of this loop, which this might be a little much for a beginner. So if this is too much, go back to the first variation. But we're going to press out and challenge our balance here. So as the right hand is on the headrest, you're pulling back with your left hand in the loop. It's a simultaneous movement. As the arm pulls back, you're pressing out with the leg. Beautiful. There's going to be this sense of wanting to tip over to one side. So really focus on those left obliques helping assist you. And rest it. Awesome work. So let's go ahead and take it to the other side. So our right toes are on. We're going to go ahead and press out. So if you like straight arms up, feel free to go for that. Again, just for comfort, I like forearms down. It helps with the shoulders really reaching away from our ears. Beautiful. But think about your belly button coming up towards your spine. So we very much intentionally want to scoop our belly up like we're putting on a pair of tight jeans. It helps to support the midsection. It helps develop those muscles, those deep intrinsic muscles, and really working them. Okay, so for our balance part, we're going to grab that loop. Left hand is on the headrest. Carefully, we're going to find our balance. A new side, so go slow. Exhale, pull back on that right hand, push out with that right leg. Beautiful job. So it's really nice to understand each of our sides because we start to understand which side is a more dominant and what are the things that we are out of balance on. You got it. Exhale, press it back nice and slow, taking your time. Exhale, reach. Exhale to reach. And carefully bring it back home. Nice work. Those are not easy to do. So from here, we can go ahead and just keep our springs on as such. That was 2 medium springs. And then we'll lie down. Let's get some hip circles in here. So grab a hold of your loops, carefully adjust your feet into the loops. Headrest is about a halfway position or what feels good for your neck posture. And then take those legs, press down, exhale, sweep them around. So heavier springs today with this. What that does for you is that it's going to give you a little bit more sense of control with the loops, but it's also going to really feel like there's heavier work happening in through your legs, which is nice because we want to build the strength in our hips. So think of your tailbone staying grounded as you equally press into the loops here. And then I'm going to give you one more thing to think about. Are you opening up the legs equally? Reverse when you're ready. So anywhere from about 5 to 10 circles, these are lovely, really helps to create synovial fluid into our hip joints, which we want to lubricate. We want that hip socket to be mobile and not stiff up on us. Good. Keep breathing. Keep scooping the belly in. Feel like that work is coming from the outside of your thighs, rolling to the back of those inner thighs, and then return back up. Give yourself a nice little hamstring stretch as you flex through those feet. And then let's take our feet out one at a time. Beautiful job. From here, let's go ahead and turn to our side. I'm taking the headrest up about all the way, just for comfort. Stack through those shoulders, stack through those hips. And then go ahead and let your bottom leg just hang out on the carriage here. And it's just going to go for the ride at this time. So deep breath, you're going to push out with your top foot. Now, this is a hip hike, so I want you to feel like you're reaching your hip away from your shoulder. So you're really opening up this space through the left side and creating more of this mouse hole on the bottom side of your right. So you're grounded through your foot. Hopefully this is making sense. You're pushing to a straight leg. You're reaching your hip away from your shoulder and you're bending your knee to come back in. Press to a straight leg. Reach your hip away from your shoulder, bending the knee to come in. So it's a very subtle movement, but it goes a longer distance. Second part of the series, we're going to take our bottom foot in front of the top foot, push out. You're going to open up your chest as you rotate to the left. Bend those knees to pull in. So it's more of a stretch that's happening here. So both feet are on the foot bar, bottom foot's in front of your top foot. You're pushing to straight legs. You're opening up your left arm to rotate through your spine. So there's a combination happening. Perfect. Now, you may need to scoot down a little bit if that shoulder block's getting in your way through your back, but it should feel nice. Again, just take it slowly and just continue to breathe. Widening through that shoulder, opening up through the collarbone, and bringing it back in. Good. So we're going to go ahead and keep our legs together. They're going for the ride. We're going to this lat pull. So grab a hold of your loop or above the loop on that metal part, and you're going to give this a tug. So your palm is looking down. You're going to pull your elbow mainly towards your hip, almost like as if you're creating this rainbow. Exhale to pull, activating through the lats here. So think of the muscle below your shoulder blade. Exhale to pull. Beautiful. Adding a little oblique work here. So if this feels okay, let's add in your head lift to create more lateral flexion here. So there's a deeper process through the obliques. Exhale, we lift and we float back down. In this next variation, go ahead and lighten up your springs to one medium or one light. And then we're reaching through that loop through our arm as we add in a circle. You could do it on heavy springs, but I really don't feel like that's going to be a good option. So I had to edit that out, and I did change my springs to go way down. So as you go through one direction about 3 to 5 times, go ahead and switch as we mobilize through the shoulder. Again, pressing firmly into that loop, really creating this effort through our back. And then stop as that elbow's over the ribs into your tricep press. So dropping your left shoulder away from your ear, you're straightening and bending through the arm. Beautiful, feeling that work deepen and heat up through the backside of your arm. Exhaling. Very important in this one to exhale. And press. Beautiful. So let's go ahead and hang that up. You can carefully sit yourself all the way up to the top here. And then we're going to go ahead and take it to the other side. So back to our 2 medium springs for our hip work, or hip stretch, I should say. And then remember, this is the one where you're going to have that bottom leg, just go for the ride. You're going to press out strongly with your top leg and add the hip hike here. So again, think of the right hip reaching to your right shoulder. Your foot, the sole of your foot is pressing firmly into the bar. And then you might even notice you have more flexibility, more movement occurring on one side, or there's less movement occurring on this side. Beautiful. So what is this doing? You're like, why am I doing this? You're going to feel a stretch. That's the main ultimate goal. But we also want to provide, again, this sense of mobility in through our hips where we're not feeling so stiff, where that contributes to a lot of that low back discomfort. So scoot yourself down. We're going to go into that second version where that bottom leg is in front of the top foot. You're going to go ahead and press out to straight legs as you open up through your torso. So it's a nice spinal rotation here. Breathe, open up the chest through the collarbone. Soften those knees to return home. Maybe you're adding a look with that, bringing your eyes to watch your fingertips the whole time. Beautiful. And just understanding how your body is moving. Are you capable of doing this type of pattern? Very nice. And let's return back in. We're going to head into our arm series. So we can go ahead and adjust our springs once again, whether you can keep those 2 medium springs on, or we can reduce it down to 1 medium spring or one light. You do, however, for this lat pull, want to keep it slightly heavier just to feel that work. So grabbing that loop or maybe on top of the rope, take that exhale as you pull the elbow in towards your hip. It's almost like a small little jab in a sense. And just feel the shoulder blade gliding down those back pockets. Beautiful. Remember to exhale here, and then when you feel ready, we can always add in our lateral flexion. So the head lifts, but it's a tiny little crunch as we process through this oblique work. Beautiful. So there's some assistance occurring here. Beautiful job. It shortens up through that right side, really getting into those external obliques. And then we can go ahead into the next part here. We're going to place our right hand into the loop. Take an exhale as we press that arm straight down, adding the circle as you're rolling around through that shoulder joint. Beautiful. Try to relax your head. And if you're gripping with your left arm on the peg, just try to reduce that sensation here. Reverse when you're ready. Beautiful. And then from here, heading right into your tricep press. So the elbows hovering off the rib cage, straighten the arm and bend. Straighten out the arm and bend it. Taking that exhalation and this energy reaching out from your fingertips. Try not to overly grip through the loop. When we grip things, it tends to go up to our neck and create more tension through our neck, which is clearly what we want to avoid in Pilates here. And then set that down. Let's go ahead and sit ourselves up. That was awesome. And we're going to go into some more full body work here. So I'm adjusting out those springs. I'm going to take it down to anywhere from one medium spring and one light, or just one medium spring. Let's send our hips down into this kneeling plank position. And then you're going to press out and pull right back in. So the work is the pulling in part. It's easy to press out, so just be very mindful that you are activating through your abs to glide you back to the stopper. You're taking your exhale and push out to kneeling plank, adding a little bit of a push-up here. If that's capable for you today, add that push-up. Otherwise, just take it into your down stretch where you're kneeling, planking back and forth. Beautiful. Elbows are nice and wide. Try not to lose that form placement. Good. We're going to go into a nice final stretch here. Go ahead and press out into that nice ease lunge where your right foot's supported by the shoulder block, left foot's on the floor. You're pressing out actively, almost tucking your tailbone under to send your hips forward, which will help from the abdominal work we did earlier. We want to make sure that that's nice and stretched out through our hip flexors. And then get into a hamstring stretch. Keep that left leg straight as you push out. Of course, you could always use a knee pad underneath that right knee. And then return back in. Let's take it to the other side. So left foot is supported by the shoulder block, right foot's on the floor. Aligning that big toe with the leg of the reformer, press out long. And again, being active about it. Really feeling and deepening that lunge stretch. Sending your hips forward. And making sure that that standing leg goes straight as we push out to that hamstring stretch. Square out your hips here to really intensify the stretch through the back of the leg. And really think of the back staying flat, neck is staying in line with our spine here. Beautiful. So we're going to go ahead into a upper back stretch here once again, using our long box. and adjust the springs down to an extra light spring, or you can play with just one light spring. So this might be an exercise where you have to play with the springs a little bit in order to know your own sense of feeling and how much power here, because you do want it to be somewhat heavy. But as you do that, grab a hold of your right loop into your right thumb. Carefully go ahead and lie down on your stomach here, and bear with me. Go ahead and keep those legs separated, active, and reach out with your right arm, and left hand is supported on top of your low back. So you're gripping the loop, and then you're going to go ahead and allow that loop to take you into this rotation through your spine. So again, rolling your right shoulder back as you begin to rotate and lift through your chest, looking at your hand here. So breathing, roll the shoulder back, return through center. And I feel like this is one of those exercises where it could be so coordinated that it takes a few repetitions to understand and to actually like feel and get. So take your time. If you're not feeling anything right away, just take your time with it. And then from here, go ahead and just let go of that. Push out to 2 straight arms. Let's go into our swan prep where you're lifting the chest, lower the chest, and bend those elbows to pull in. Press it away. Reach. We get long through our spine. And again, energetically pointing out from our toes and keeping our feet separated. The reason being is that we want to basically decompress the spine through the low back, not compress it. So if you already have low back discomfort, you definitely want to keep the feet separated. And as we go through a few repetitions here with our swan prep, just really feeling this nice stretch there and just relaxation as we cool ourselves down. Good. So coming off to one side carefully, grab a hold of your opposite loop. Take it into the left thumb. Carefully grab a hold of the edge of the box as you lie yourself on your stomach to repeat our other side. So maybe it makes more sense this time around, but go ahead and straighten out your left arm. Have your right hand supported on your low back. And nice deep breath here. As we inhale to rotate, think of that left shoulder rolling back and return through center. Beautiful. Just allowing the rope just to pull you in that direction, which is one of the few times I would ever say that, because we want to be in control of the ropes, in control of the springs. Good. Rotate and then square yourself out. Beautiful. Grab a hold of that foot bar once again, dropping a hold of your loop, and we'll take it right back out into our swan prep. Just diving a little bit higher and bend and soften through those elbows. We inhale, allow those shoulders to just gravitate away from our ears. Feel those ribs expanding as we take that inhale, floating the chest up. Exhale, funneling the ribs as we lower the chest down. And just aiming for about 3 to 5 of these repetitions. Beautiful. So a lot of new exercises here for this beginner piece. It wasn't what I had planned intentionally, but again, it's always good to just explore with Pilates and enhance our Pilates knowledge. So take that dive down, reach to the floor, check in with your body, how it's feeling now as it was at the beginning of class. Beautiful. One more time. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. Please give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Leave a comment. Would love to hear your thoughts. And until next time, we'll see you again.